Well, Larry, first of all, thank you very much for taking the time to come down in here and chat. It's number one, it's great to see you actually at Chargers OTAs and being able to go ahead and participate and not working off to the side. How much are you looking forward to just being out there and being healthy?
Yeah, it's really been great. Just like you said, actually being in those 11-on-11 drills, the competition of it, being able to compete, and then also just being able to get my confidence back, actually get reps.
How long has it been since you've done that? Because last year, from what I recall, I mean, you didn't have OTAs, you didn't have mini camp, it was training camp, and from what I recall, you were never working, even with your group, you were always working off to the side.
Definitely for the first couple weeks of training camp, yeah, because I had actually just got cleared right before training camp started, so about 2 weeks into training camp is when I actually started doing actual team drills with the team, 11-on-11 stuff. But, you know, like you said, at that point, it's kind of rough just getting thrown in fresh off of doing rehab. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm in a much better space right now this year.
Now, the very first day, and we should always point out that the OTAs are voluntary, but the very first day, I know you weren't able to participate, or I'm not sure if I could say you weren't able to, you weren't. And we asked Norv Turner about it. He mentioned it was the groin, you had a surgery in the off season, but he mentioned that you were pressing to go, you wanted to be out there, but he decided to hold you out. Now, so, you know, we put that out there, that's reported by the media, and first thing, Larry English, he's hurt again, here we go again.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't a hurt type of issue, it was just more of a precautionary thing that, felt it was best that way, but it was not serious at all.
How big is this year for you, not proving yourself just to the San Diego Chargers and to AJ Smith for drafting you, but also to yourself that you can play in this league, and really importantly that you can stay healthy to get a chance to play in this league?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, just like you said, stay healthy. I think, my question with myself, it hasn't been, am I able to play in the league? It's just been, have I been able to stay healthy? And unfortunately, the past couple of years I haven't, so that's the biggest and most important thing for me right now, and the biggest step that I want to make.
But do you feel as though you're completely back right now?
Yes.
This year, Chargers first round pick, they take an outside linebacker. They take Melvin Ingram, and I'll tell you this, we couldn't talk to an analyst, you couldn't see a report without saying, it's because Larry English, nobody knows what to expect from him. Because, you've only started 4 years in these 3 years. And you were very candid on the radio with us saying, you know what, you can't blame them for that. But has it driven you nuts, though, that you haven't been able to prove yourself as a first-round pick, really, in the 3 years that you've been with the Chargers?
Well, of course, just because, but for myself, more so than, it hasn't been the media that I've had an issue with. I want to be out there myself, you know what I mean? And there's goals that I have, in this league, and I know that I'm capable of not only playing, but producing and, making an impact. And to be held back from doing that because of injury and not being able to stay healthy is something that's just been unfortunate for me, and it's been frustrating. So I'm really just trying to look forward with everything and be positive and move from there.
Now, you mentioned you have goals. What are some of those goals as it relates to being on the football field?
Well, I mean, I didn't mean specific goals, but just the fact that knowing that I can make an impact out there and be a good player, and really just contribute to the team.
Now, Norv Turner and your new defensive coordinator, John Pagano, they said, listen, if this guy can stay healthy, we think he can make an impact.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with him. I'm confident in that myself.
You scored a 34 on your Wonderlic, which I think was one of the highest ever for your position, ninth highest. Now, is that something, can that help you in the football field, or can that actually hurt you?
I don't know how much bearing that actually has on the football field, to be honest with you. I mean, I guess it's different for different positions, different for different players, but I kind of just think that's one more thing that they can kind of toss at guys to be able to evaluate off of, one more thing to be able to see how you respond to it. It's just one part of it, you know what I mean?
I want to ask you about your new linebackers coach, though, your former linebackers coach, John Pagano, who's now your defensive coordinator. What has it been like? Really, I mean, it's a different level. He's not working specifically with just linebackers. What has it been like to work with him?
It's been great. I really think that's where he belongs. I think he's got a great football mind. He understands it, and he's good at. I think getting his point across in terms of the X's and O's go, and really knowing what everybody on the field, where everybody fits. That was one thing that I always noticed about him. You know, he was coaching us specifically, but he would always relate what we were doing to what something back there with the DBs were doing, and would always point out things on the tape that the DBs or the D-line might have been doing wrong or right. And like you said, he just really just sees the whole picture well. So I think it's gonna be good for us to have him as coordinator.
When it comes to the defense, the captain of the defense, the quarterback of the defense, who is that player? Who's the smartest guy in the defense to lead you guys?
The smartest guy.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here.
I think over the years, the years that I've been around, one of those guys has been Sean Phillips. Just because he's been around for a long time, he's understood it, and he's been accountable. A guy that we've always been able to count on to make plays and produce for us. And I think also Eric Weddle is one of those guys too. A real smart guy who knows what everybody's doing on the field, and does a great job of communicating. I think that's big too.
And last question I want to ask you, and this is and there's no fair way to ask this question.
Now I should say we got Takeo Spikes out there, so he's one of those guys.
He wore the helmet, right, with the headpiece and all that. Okay, before that it was Burnett and I think Cooper.
Yeah, Takeo's definitely a guy now that we all as a defense look to, because he's been around for so long, and anybody that's able to produce in this league for that long, that amount of time, and still be playing at a high level, you really just got to take a lot from him. So he's a huge guy that we look to in terms of leadership.
He's got to be, because when I talk to some of the younger players, he's like, they'll say, what, Takeo Spikes, it can be offense or defense. He tells me about hot tub, cold tub, taking care of your body.
Yeah.
And your body has been through these injuries in your 3 years. I can imagine that his experience should be invaluable as to what to do and what not to do.
And he's stayed healthy too for a long time, so it's huge.
Larry, and the last thing I'm going to ask you, people love to sign draft report cards an hour after the draft is complete. We all love labels. If we don't see production from a player, it's especially in the first round, it's the bus. It's the dreaded B word. It's the bus label, man. How much do you want to avoid that? How big a year is this for you coming up?
It's definitely a huge year for me, and that's not a word that I ever consider myself in, just because I'm confident in what I can do and the impact that I can make. So like I said before, it's all about me staying healthy, and then I know things are going to go well from there.
Thank you very much.